Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just going to be doing a quick review on a new kayak that I bought. So I'm up here at Monument Lake and I recently got this 2017 Chevy Volt. And as you can see, there's no tow hitch on it. If any of you have seen some of my recent videos, you know that my main kayak, the Recon 120, is a pretty big kayak, fully loaded. It weighs over 150 pounds and I don't have my truck with me, so that kayak needs to be trailered everywhere. But with the Volt, I can't really hook up a trailer yet because I don't have the tow package set up on it. So I went on Amazon and ordered this inflatable fishing kayak paddleboard hybrid thing. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. But with the extra seat that I ordered for it and my wife's inflatable paddleboard, both of them fit neatly in the back of the car with an electric pump right here. This is my first time taking out an inflatable paddleboard for fishing. So I'm just gonna take this out, do a quick unboxing on it, see what it comes with, and then give a quick review for it. A lot of these inflatables are marketed towards people who have small cars or who live in apartments and don't have a lot of space for like storing a full-size rigid kayak. So I'm gonna see if it's actually worth it. This is an unsponsored video. I did have to pay for this kayak myself, but if it's something that's worth using or something that I think some of you might actually enjoy having, I'll leave a link to my Amazon list in the description. That way you guys can check it out on your own. But yeah, let's get to the unboxing. Okay, so starting off, it does come in this bag. It's kind of a bigger bag. It's like almost 3 feet tall, but it does fit neatly in the trunk of the Volt. And on the back it has these straps, so you could put it on your back and carry it into whatever pond or lake or wherever that you're trying to go fishing, or just paddling around. But the whole thing weighs probably 35 pounds, I'd guess. So while it is packable, it's not necessarily going to be comfortable if you're hiking miles into the lake. Opening it up, it comes with an accessory mount for the fishing pole holder that it comes with. That's weird. It's a weird fishing pole holder. Anyways, so it comes with the rod holder, the standard cheap inflatable pump that pretty much all of these come with. These work, but from my experience pumping up my wife's inflatable paddleboard, which is a little bit smaller than this one, it takes probably 15 minutes to manually pump these up. So all these pumps are nice to have if you're trying to backpack in somewhere. If you have access to a car and your electric pump, I 100% would recommend getting an electric pump because these are very inconvenient and take a long time to inflate the paddleboard. This one comes with a paddle. It comes with 2 of this end. Most of the time paddleboard just comes with 1 piece and then a handle. And it has the handle right here. And then this connector, like this middle piece. So it looks like this one actually gives you the option to have a kayak style paddle or a paddleboard style paddle. And I kind of like that because if I'm going to be doing a lot of fishing, I would rather have the double paddle so I could be seated while I'm paddling around and make it a little easier for me. So I didn't actually know that when I ordered this, but that is something I like. And it breaks down into 3 pieces so it fits inside the bag. So everything is self-contained and you don't have to bring a second paddle with you. The obligatory waterproof phone holder that all of them come with. Comes with a fin. And this one actually comes with a seat that clips down onto the paddleboard and comes with these little straps so you can strap it down. I'll show you what that looks like. I did order this seat because I'm old and my hips hurt when I sit on the ground for too long, so I got an actual seat with a real backrest. And I'll have a link to this as well. But you can see it folds completely flat and has the straps so you could adjust it. Basic kayak seat. I think this was just a generic one that could be used on any sit-on-top kayak. But yeah, this seat does come with a little pouch on the back so you can store things like your phone or your wallet or anything. And it's got a zipper, so that's nice. Your paddleboard leash, so if you fall off it doesn't get blown away. Comes with a little repair kit, and then the paddleboard itself. So it unrolls just like every other inflatable. The wind picked up while I was recording this part of the video, but basically all I'm saying is that the board is 11.5 feet long and 35 inches wide. It has a 600-pound weight capacity and has 2 air chambers with the base inflating separately from the top rim. It has a built-in measuring board up here. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but give you a close enough guesstimate of how big your fish is if you catch one. Up here towards the front, it has these two mounting spots for that rod holder that I showed you earlier. You can put two accessory mounts up here. The one that came with it is just looks like the generic Yak Attack mount that you can get with most rod holders. But looking at the bolt pattern on it, these Railblaza mounts also fit the same bolt pattern. So if you prefer this brand over Yak Attack, you can use these as well. Most of the accessories that I already have are Railblaza, so I will be able to keep using them with this kayak. I won't have to buy all new accessories for this one. So that is a benefit. It's one thing that I do like about this kayak. On the front here, it has the standard bungees so you can hold some of your gear, as well as on the back. Another thing for this particular inflatable is it has these 4 D-rings on it, so you can strap down your seat. That does have you sitting really far forward if you use these 4 rings. Alternatively, you could use the 2 middle rings and then the 2 back rings that the bungee is connected to, and you can strap your seat down that way if you want it to be a little further back. But that's the basic layout of it. It does have EVA foam on the top for grip and a little bit of cushion under your feet, and that's nice. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this inflated real quick using the electric pump, and we can take another look at it once it's fully blown up. So this is what I was talking about a minute ago when I mentioned that it's a 2-chamber inflatable. You can see the base is fully inflated up to 14 psi, but this top rim is completely flat still. And up here on the front, there's one fill port for the top chamber, and on the back is the fill port for the other, or for the base of it. One thing I like about these 2-chamber inflatables is because I am using this for fishing, if for some reason the fish throws the lure and the hook gets stuck in one of the chambers, the other one is still inflated, so I'd have to pop both sides in order for it to completely sink. And either way it's gonna suck, because best case scenario the top is flat and I just have like a regular paddle board. Worst case scenario the bottom is flat but the top chamber still keeps it floating, so it's easier to recover and I don't lose all of my stuff, and I could at least get back to shore hopefully before anything completely sinks. But both chambers say 12 to 15 psi. I inflated the bottom chamber to 14 psi because when I put it in the cold water, it might the air might cool down and contract a little bit, so I'll lose some kind of pressure. But the top chamber doesn't really touch the water, and it'll be sitting in direct sunlight on most days. So I'm just going to inflate the top one to 12 psi. That way if it heats up and expands, it doesn't over-pressurize and cause a leak. Okay, now that the top's done inflating, I'll talk about a couple reasons why I picked this particular inflatable over some of the others on Amazon. To start, it was only $400, so that's a pretty good deal for this. Similar inflatables like any of the Boat Arrow line or the Wilderness Systems iAttack, they start at $1,000 and go up from there. This was only $400. At a minimum, you're saving $600 by ordering this one. It's a generic brand name, Cetana or whatever, but I kind of like the way it looks. It's should be sturdy enough to support me and stable enough to go fishing, but also this top chamber creates a wall right here. So if you had something sitting on the deck, it's not just gonna fall off, like roll off the side or anything. So I do like that. The rim doesn't wrap all the way around the back. There's a flat spot right here that just goes straight into the water. And in an upcoming video, you'll see how, but I got this one that has this flat opening right here because I'm going to build a motor mount for this that connects to a kayak crate. That way I can put a motor on this, because if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I'm way too lazy to actually paddle a kayak while I'm fishing. So let's talk about the seat real quick. Like I said, it's just the generic seat, nothing really special about it. It has these clips, so you clip both sets of straps onto this middle ring. That stops it from sliding back, and then you adjust these straps until it's at a comfortable position for you, and then you have a little pouch right here. That makes it super lightweight, easy to pack in and out of where you're going. Has this grab handle for that, but like I said, it's sitting completely flat on the ground. and I'm going to be using the other seat for this instead. This seat, the straps are a little easier to adjust. Just has these cinch strap style brackets right here, and the flat bar goes all the way across, distributing the weight across the inflatable deck. That way it's not like pressing down on 4 points, has a chance of puncturing the inflatable. And the seat even comes with straps that I forgot to bring with me, so you can secure it to the top of the paddleboard. But I'm going to take this out anyways and just hope I don't flip over. It's a pretty wide seat, 350-pound weight capacity, and these rails are just narrow enough that you can slide it back to where the front rail is in line or just behind these front loops, and then using the straps that comes with the seat, just run them around right here to this loop and it's secure. Then the only thing left to do is flip it up on its side, install the fin. There's a little sliding bolt or nut in there. You have to line this pin up with that nut and then just tighten it down. And now the pin is secured in place. I would wait until you get to the water to install that. So as you can see, it's sitting up on the fin right now, and that's not ideal. And you run the risk of it breaking, but I'm just gonna risk it. All right, so here's what it looks like in the water. You can see the rod holder holding a tiny rod. The paddle, something I noticed about the paddle when I put it together is it's actually adjustable. So if you needed a different length, you can just open the clip and then slide that in or out. The seat fits nicely, and there's plenty of room in front of me, and it seems pretty stable. The fin does stick down about 7 or 8 inches, maybe 6 inches really. So the fin does stick down a bit, so you can't go in super shallow water or you might break your fin off. But this ramp right here has a just steep enough slope that I can have the paddleboard in the water while I'm standing ankle deep and get onto the paddleboard or without the fin getting stuck. But yeah, so I'm gonna get out there on the water, paddle around, see how it feels, and then see if I could catch a fish. So my first thoughts while sitting on this inflatable with this seat is the seat's better than sitting on the completely flat seat like that one. I am a little bit up off the ground. You can see it's a little bit more comfortable, but it is still a little bit low. I'm used to sitting in a much higher seat on my other kayak. So I might do like 2-inch spacers, just draw them up in CAD real quick and then 3D print them. But for the kayak itself, there's plenty of room out in front of me. I could put my feet out. The rod holder does get in the way of this foot, but it's far enough forward that I can fully paddle with the rod right there. It's just angled slightly out rather than straight out, so I'm able to troll while paddling. The rest of the audio from the lake was unusable, and I forgot to record an outro while I was out there, so I'm just going to go over a couple final things now. First of all, it paddles easier than any other kayak I have or have had, including the Ascend FS10 from Bass Pro, which I still highly recommend for most people's first fishing kayak. It paddles so easily because it barely sits in the water at all and basically glides right over the top of it. While this makes paddling really easy, it also makes it very susceptible to being blown around by the wind or moved by the slightest amount of resistance in the water. I was throwing a 3/8 ounce rooster tail and it was turning the board every time I had to reel it in, and you can see when I was reeling in the tiniest fish that I've ever caught that it spun the entire board around. Also, the paddle that comes with the board is great for its adjustability and how it breaks down to fit in the bag, and it is very lightweight, but there are no grips on it or those rubber rings that stop water from dripping on you. So you will get wet using this paddle if you are sitting, and you might get blisters on your hands if you are out for too long. In terms of stability, this board is stable enough for me to stand on while I cast around or paddle, which is expected from a stand-up paddle board, especially one that's marketed as a fishing kayak. It is less stable than my Recon 120, but that kayak is 38 inches wide and designed to be extremely stable. It also costs $1,000 more than this inflatable and weighs over 100 pounds more. So do I think this board is worth it? For the price and portability of it, I definitely think it's worth it. But if you have access to storage and a truck or SUV that you can either rooftop or trailer a rigid kayak, I think in this price range the Ascend FS10 or 10T are still a better option. They're about $100 more expensive than buying this board and the optional seat, but the durability, the way they track in the water, and how easy it is to accessorize rigid kayaks are the reasons I think the extra money is worth it. With that said, I still don't regret buying this inflatable, and it will allow me to use my smaller, more fuel-efficient car to go to further away bodies of water and not have to worry about loading a kayak on and off my roof. For casual anglers, people who live in apartments, or those who want to easily travel with their watercraft, I would definitely consider inflatables a real option. As always, I hope you found this video helpful, and I will catch you on the next one.